how do you hire the right people? So I talk a lot about this, and in the program I cover everything, including the 𝗘𝗺𝗽𝗀 model, which is about 18 years old. But I want to actually today talk about three things that often confuse people, and they say, well, why did I not get the right hire? It's not about the price you pay in the market, or what the commission structure is with the agency, or whether you use an online job board, or whether you write a good job spec. All these things are important, like testing and qualifying the candidate and making sure you see enough of the sample that you're looking for. But here are some really important tips, three big things. The first one you want to think about is to understand that you're not just writing a job spec. You need to make sure it's as good, if not better, than any job spec in the market today that you're offering your job. Because you can't compete with Apple. So you can't often compete on brand. So you have to compete on the job spec. So we can write an underperforming job spec. The second thing linked to the job spec is that we are selling the company, our brand, our values, the opportunities that we offer with that job spec. If we're assuming for the candidate just to sell to us why they should have the job, we're probably going to lose. Because the trend, the opportunity, and frankly, it's the best way to offer fair value, is to sell why it's so good to work for our company and why this spec is the best spec in the market. So if they look at the spec and you've matched up really well, and there's nothing in the market that compares to it, and you're selling the opportunity to them, you've got more opportunity to convince the candidate that they should come on board. So that's point one. Number two, and this is something that a lot of people don't look at, and that's that testing has many different meanings when it comes to hiring. But what you're trying to do is make sure you qualify in three different areas. Does the candidate have the requisite experience, the proven or practical knowledge that allows them to do the job? If it's a design or art job, they should probably bring a portfolio to the interview or share it online with you so you can see that they've demonstrated their practices. If they're doing a software engineering job, they should probably go and show you some kind of product that they've built. So that is what we call pre-documentation. The second point is that you want to be able to do a peer-to-peer review. So there is no one interview. The best way, even though it takes a bit of time, is to interview the candidate 3 times. To interview it with a crossover of 2 people and 2 people. So essentially you get 1 interview, 2 interviews, and then a 3rd interview with the person that's going to make the hire. So what happens is you get the perspective of 2 people in each of the interview stages. The third area, and this is critical, is that you give them a live test. Now, a live test can often mean overnight, it can mean setting the materials, but generally what you're looking to do is say, look, here's an hour. I want you to define this marketing plan on how we're going to acquire these customers in this market. Here's the price, here's the ad spend, here are the different choices. That's one test. Or we've got this code problem, and what we're trying to do is build this particular service. Can you write the proposed code that will allow us to understand your thinking about how we would solve that problem? So it's a live test because it's not pre-documentation. It's not in their portfolio. It's not a Q&A that we're running through 3 different interviews. Now it's a test that's related directly to the skill set that we're trying to hire for. So that is a really key piece that will really tease out whether you've got the right candidate. And the third thing that's really important, and where hires fall down, it's not motivation in the beginning. If you've actually convinced them to walk through the door and to take up your job spec and accept a certain market rate, what it is an expectation of when they come on board, what do they do in that first 3 months? Normally there's always a 3-month probation period. That's generally the industry norm. So what happens in that 3 months? So we need to be very careful about how prepared we are for that person to come on board. Have we got them a buddy? Someone that's going to help them with the culture? Even if it's 3 people in the company or 10 people or 100, can someone show them the ropes, show them what the systems are, show them what software you use, what processes are in place? And then what do we expect them to do in terms of coming out of that onboarding in order to start applying their ideas? And then what is the early performance? And this is the key thing. So from essentially the 4th to the 12th week, so the 2nd and 3rd month, we want to be able to have incremental performance measures. It is so important that you onboard the person in the right way, to give them a real shot of convincing you that they should stay after the 3 months and that they're a suitable ongoing candidate.